Floyd Mayweather is joining NASCAR. He is starting his own team. He won't be racing, of course, but he is starting his own team. And looks like we might be getting a new track in NASCAR.
Lesson from the brain, seeing the beauty through the...
What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the video, and today we are going to be talking about, the main focus of the video is going to be about the new track that we are looking at here. Most of you guys probably know it's been out for a couple of days now. We also want to talk about something that I missed with the Floyd Mayweather thing, and then there's a couple other news we want to talk about. Before we get into that, I want to give a quick shout out to our sponsors over at NASCAR Talk America, as we have an awesome event to talk about. This Friday, me and NASCAR Talk America will be hosting an multiplayer event on NASCAR Heat for Xbox One. Make sure y'all have an Xbox One, because obviously it can't work. We will be hosting a multiplayer event. It'll be streamed on Canteen Wall's Mixer, so if you guys can't join, if you have a PS4 or something like that, you can watch the stream on Mixer. Or I will also be recording it and posting the highlights in the next day or so. So if you guys missed the stream, couldn't come out, you can still watch the highlights on my channel. It'll be on this channel, and by all means, come and join. As many people we can get in there, the more the merrier. Be sure to join. There will be a bunch of stuff going on. It'll be a lot of fun, and the new server icon for the NASCAR Talk America will be announced. Make sure to join NASCAR Talk America if you haven't already, so then when we are ready, Friday, November 1st, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to race, then you will be there. So be sure to be there, and let's go ahead and get into today's video. While it has not been officially announced yet, it has been reported that Floyd Mayweather will be running a team called the Money Team, if I'm not mistaken. I know it's something to do with money, that will be piloting the number 50 car, Chevrolet actually, in the last race of the season at Homestead. This season they will be running. There has no drivers have been announced, anything like that. They had a website with his picture, with some vague stuff on it. But then after this started gaining some traction in the NASCAR world, all it says is, more coming out soon, something like that, saying that, more is coming out. So not much to talk about on here. Whether they'll be competitive or not, I don't know. Here's the thing. If Floyd Mayweather, if I could speak English, Floyd Mayweather, I don't follow wrestling a lot, but I know who he is. I know he's a competitive person. I feel like if he legitimately has a stake in this team, he's going to want it to be competitive, and he's going to go whatever length it takes to be competitive. So whether that is teaming up with Hendrick, RCR, something like that, probably more likely RCR than Hendrick, but teaming up with somebody who can actually make them a competitive car is probably the most likely route for this team. I don't think they'll be able to on their own. I think we can almost guarantee that on their own they won't be able to make a competitive car, but I could be wrong. Floyd Mayweather definitely, he has a lot of money. He's a historic boxing career. I believe he's undefeated, or he went a long time undefeated. Again, like I said, I don't follow boxing, so bear with me there. But definitely interesting news. Kind of came out of nowhere. I don't think anybody ever thought Floyd Mayweather would be running a NASCAR team, or at least have some stake in it. Again, the details have not necessarily been whether he's just endorsing it or if he's actually with the company. So we'll have to wait and see when more information comes out to see what's going on. There were people trying to say he's going to drive, and that's what my first impression was, but I have a feeling that's not going to be the case. Next up, some good news for Ryan Newman. I'm sorry the picture's so disordered. Let me see if I can fix that really quick. Whoa. Guess it's a little bit better. But Ryan Newman, some really good news for him. There's been some questions whether he's going to be in the 6th car next year. I think a lot of people, generally the consensus is that he will be in that 6th car next year. But, you never know. We've seen crazier things happen despite how much he's done for that 6th car. But Oscar Mayer has announced a 2-year extension through 2021 to sponsor the number 6 car at Roush Fenway Racing, and there is no specified primary races. But still, this was broken, at least when I saw it, by Fox News. I just happened to catch it early on my Instagram. I wasn't looking at my Twitter, so maybe Bob Parker said it. But Ryan Newman has that Oscar Mayer funding. Really nice to see them. I don't think they've been in the sport that long. I know they were in it originally, but I feel like there was like a period where they weren't really involved with the sport, and it seems like in the last couple of years they've started to make appearances back in the sport. Really nice to see that and see them extend their contract. It's always good seeing a sponsor, up their sponsorship in the sport. Always great. So for our last story of the day, yes, this will not be a 20-minute long video, probably about a 10 to 12 minute long video. We are going to be talking about Tony Stewart making a stock car run at the Circuit of the Americas. That is the name of the track, I believe. Sorry if I'm wrong. Now, I'm not sure how the racing has been in the IndyCar and F1 series. I never watch F1, and I very rarely watch IndyCar, so I'm not the kind of person to consult on how the racing typically is there. But if this happens, I think with Tony Stewart, doing this, he'll be driving it'll be a 14. I've seen the scheme and everything. It looks pretty cool. It's, from what I understand, it's not technically a test run. It is actually something to do with the Stewart Haas. It's not Stewart Haas, but the Haas Automation F1 drivers. I guess F1's there this weekend. The F1 drivers get to see him demonstrate. I'm not sure on all the details or anything like that, but all I know is that Tony Stewart will be running a stock car on that track, which is something that I don't think has ever happened, if I'm not mistaken, or it's not happened a lot. I don't think there's a lot of stock car races there. So what I think is happening is NASCAR's like, yeah, hold on, let me move my mic a little closer to my mouth. So I think what's going on here is NASCAR's going to be like, all right, Tony, so yeah, you go do that, and then once you do that, give us a little feedback so we can, assess this, and, maybe we can do a test session there and see what the racing is like and stuff like that. And I would say, if you guys are wondering what race it will replace, it'll probably replace the Texas race, to be honest. Texas has been a pretty boring track as of recent, so I think at least a new road course would bring in some eyes. When the Charlotte Roval came in, we saw really great ratings, so a new road course replacing a lackluster race, I think it'll easily beat the ratings that you see at Texas this year. I'm not sure what the attendance will look like. I don't think it's necessarily a big track, but I could be mistaken. I haven't watched a race there, so probably about 30,000 people show up. I don't know. It's in Austin, Texas, a pretty small market, but again, we got tracks like Darlington, Bristol, kinda, but tracks that are really just a track, and or cities that is really just a track and nothing else. But I don't know. We'll have to see. It'll be definitely interesting, and my thoughts are, if Tony Stewart gives good feedback, NASCAR is looking to get them ratings up. They're looking to get the interest up, and I think adding a new road course, as the road course races, on a kind of a side note here, have been really good recently. I mean, Watkins Glen last year and this year were both great races, great battles between Chase and Martin Truex Jr. Charlotte Roval, the first race last year, was all in all a very entertaining race. This year, it wasn't as good as last year. There were some boring parts, but the ending was great. Chase Elliott was able to come back, so I loved it. Chase Elliott got the win, so I'm kind of biased in that. But then you go to Sonoma. Sonoma is definitely the weakest, of the three tracks, but it's still a pretty good track. The last two races, Truex has kind of gotten, figured something out and is kind of, taken over, but still, all in all, it's had great races over time. I don't see any reason why anybody should hate on Sonoma. So all three of the road courses have been, I guess Sonoma is kind of middle of the pack, but the other two road courses have had probably most definitely the highlights of the season, last season and this season. So both road courses are great, and I think adding a new road course would at least bring some buzz. If the racing is bad in 2 or 3 years, take it off the schedule. No harm, no foul at this point. I don't think you can get much worse than having a Texas race, having 2 Texas races. I don't think you can get a road course race to be worse than a Texas race. Let me tell you, this week is not going to be a fun week going into Texas. But, I could be wrong, who knows. But I don't even know what the track looks like, to be honest. I might have played it in Forza once or twice. but I'll have to look that up. But be sure to let me know, what do you guys think about Tony Stewart driving at the Circuit of the Americas? Do you guys think there is a legitimate chance of the road course coming into NASCAR? Maybe they, have an Xfinity or truck race there just to, feel the waters and stuff like that. But speaking of the Xfinity trucks, do you think maybe Canadian Tire or any other tracks that Mid-Ohio tracks that run in the Xfinity Series and Truck Series, think they ever will have a chance to come up to the Cup Series? I don't think a lot of people have mentioned those tracks when we talk about the new tracks coming into the Cup Series. We talk about Iowa, maybe there's some rumblings of Gateway, and obviously Nashville. But we never talk about Canadian Tire, Mid-Ohio, and I can't think of the other one. Never talk about those, so maybe those need to be mentioned. NASCAR is looking to diversify and stuff like that, and I think they would bring some interest. Maybe not as much interest as Circuit of the Americas, but who knows? We'll have to wait and see. But be sure to let me know down below all your guys' thoughts, stuff like that, anything on anything we talked about today. Make sure you like, hit the subscribe button, go join NASCAR Talk America, and be there Friday, November 1st. You already knew it's 2019, but 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be there. I will be there. It'll be streamed, all of that stuff, so it'll be a lot of fun. I cannot wait, and I'll see you guys there. And that's all I got for today. See you guys in the next one. Peace out.